Is it time to ban hi-fi channels on YouTube? It's just pointless. Hi-fi on YouTube, so say quite a lot of my commenters. So maybe we should just ban it. Now, since we can't actually do that, just boycott hi-fi channels and stick to cat videos and fail army. Hi-fi channels will then just go away and everyone will be a lot happier. Okay, maybe I'm exaggerating, or maybe I'm not. I do get a lot of comments saying that my audio demonstrations are pointless. And to an extent, these people do have a point. And I'm going to address it now. Address it, agree with it, rebut it. Let's find out. So what's the problem? Well, it isn't hi-fi channels as such. It's hi-fi equipment review channels. And it isn't all hi-fi equipment review channels. It's those that have videos that feature audio demonstrations. Audio demonstrations in audio. The problem is that the quality of audio on YouTube isn't the best. The best would be 24-bit 96 kHz lossless wave files. Audio as pure as you can get. Or well-mastered 16-bit 44.1 kHz CD quality. I can go with that. And I often do, but that's another story for another day. But 2496 audio puts out a bit rate of 4.608 megabits per second in stereo. That would be a lot of megabits per second. And for that, YouTube's going to need a bigger server. Come on, that's the Jaws joke. You don't need to comment that I think that YouTube only has one server. ChatGPT guesses that they have hundreds of thousands. Maybe 1 million. It all costs money to run. And guess what? It costs nothing to upload to YouTube. It costs nothing to watch it either, if you're happy watching ads. So there's a balance between how much YouTube makes from ad revenue and how much it costs to run all of those servers in all of those data centers. Something's got to give. And what's it going to be? The audio, of course. It's the audio. Now the video. Well, YouTube has no trouble at all outputting 4K resolution. In fact, YouTubers are encouraged to upload in 4K. HD being old hat now, even though hardly anyone can tell the difference. But audio, well, here's a question. Is YouTube audio good or bad? Or maybe I should say good, adequate or bad. Well, I might answer that in another video, but what I can say here for sure is that it isn't lossless. Lossless audio is the gold standard. Anything else is iron pyrite. Pyrites, whichever you prefer. I prefer gold. The thing about lossy audio is that much of the data is simply thrown away, leaving behind only what the codec thinks we can hear. It is a fact, though, that some people have better hearing than others. And where's the line between what half of the people can hear and what half can't? The LD50 of audio, if you like. Anyway, lossy audio creates doubts, and if we are to talk about, demonstrate and carefully consider audio on YouTube, we have to be aware that what we hear is not perfect. It isn't what the creator created, approved and uploaded. So where do we go from here? What's the point of audio demonstrations if we're not hearing the original audio? Well, I have some possible solutions. Firstly, we can all just suffer it until the future that we were once promised arrives and lossless audio is the norm, even in Atmos. Did I say that? But this splits two ways. I might make an audio demonstration where what I want to talk about will be clearly audible to anyone with decent equipment and decent hearing. I'll put a link in the description to my demonstration of exotic audio panning techniques that a music producer might use. You will find the effects very easy to hear. And if you don't, well, it isn't YouTube's fault and it isn't mine. Who does that leave? But I might make a demonstration where the effect is likely to be subtle, as in the tube rolling video I made a few days ago. Link in the description again. So, if I have a tube amp and I change the standard tube for a premium tube, I'd hope to hear the difference. So I did. And I did hear a difference at home, at least I think I did. When I listen on YouTube, I'm hearing the same degree of difference. At least, I think I am. It's a very subtle thing. And should I expect to hear any effect through YouTube audio? And should my viewers? My point would be that if viewers can't hear any difference between a standard tube and a premium tube on YouTube, at least they know that whatever difference there is no greater than can be concealed by lossy audio. That some knowledge and some knowledge is better than no knowledge. So that's my first possible solution, put up with YouTube's lossy audio. What's next? Well, let's just give up. Boycott hi-fi channels that include demonstrations. That's what my commenters often say. Some commenters are very clear that, due to YouTube's lossy audio, my demonstrations are worthless and I should stop doing them and close down my channel. And if I should stop doing them and close down my channel, then I guess that other hi-fi channels should do that too. It all has to pass through YouTube's lossy audio, so if that is going to mask issues that normal people with normal equipment and normal hearing would otherwise be able to pick out, well, what's the point? The thing is, though, that anyone could ask what's the point about just about anything. What's the point of art? What's the point of life? What's the point of anything when the universe is predicted to die of thermodynamic equilibrium in 10 to the power of 100 years, give or take a week or two? So if we can ask the question, what's the point, and answer it, there is no point, I'll just give up and send a quick email to my other hi-fi YouTuber friends. And hey, we're all happy. But, and this is an interesting but, suppose we consider these issues carefully. We decide that YouTube's audio isn't up to the job, but we still want to learn and know about audio. What can we do? Well, we can take the route of some other hi-fi channels. Some of them quite popular, some even more popular than mine. Can you believe that? They just talk. Okay, pot, kettle, black. All I'm doing in this video is talking. But when I review equipment, I want to know what other people are saying about it. For one, why wouldn't I? I'm interested. For two, I want to make sure I haven't missed anything that I should have mentioned. And three, well, we're all competing for views, likes, and subscribers, and ad revenue. Call it industrial espionage, I call it being interested. But when I'm watching a talk-only review of this or that piece of equipment, there'll come a point where they start talking about the sound quality, trying to find words that explain what the equipment sounds like. This is where I would have my demonstration. I'm not saying talking is a bad thing. If I can't get my point across in a demonstration due to YouTube's lossy audio, maybe someone else can get their point, their valid point, across in words. I am going to look into this as a separate topic for a future video, but it certainly is a thing. YouTube reviewers talking about equipment and not demonstrating it. How much can you rely on what they say? Let's turn to practical matters. Let's suppose we as YouTube viewers like audio demonstrations, even if they're very subtle and we might struggle to appreciate what we're meant to be hearing. As viewers and listeners, we can do our bit by having decent equipment, decent listening surroundings, visiting an audiologist every now and then, and paying close attention. That's about all we can do. But what can the YouTuber do? Well, I can't speak for other YouTubers, but what I do is this. When my video contains a demonstration, I upload it with a lossless wave soundtrack. This way the audio only has to be lossily data compressed once. If I were to take the easy route and export my video from my editing software in the normal MP4 format, the audio will be lossy. The MP4 container doesn't support wave. But using my secret, highly complex, time-consuming workaround, I export my video with a wave soundtrack and upload that to YouTube. So what I upload is exactly what I heard when I made my demonstration, exact to the bit. So if you, the viewer, hear lossy audio, it's YouTube's fault, not mine. Time for some questions. Do you personally like audio demonstrations? If a review doesn't have any demonstrations, are words enough to describe how the equipment sounds? Which would you prefer in the videos you watch? 8K video resolution or 2496 audio? See you soon.